Grace and peace, everyone, and welcome, watch enthusiasts. This is Time Measured. My name is DK, also known as Jahvid, and today we are going to be doing a review on the Hamilton Khaki Field Auto 42mm, reference number H705-55533. Now, I had previously done a review on the 38mm version, but I've since traded that out of my collection for this 42mm version. So I'll also be doing a comparison on how I feel this matches up with the classic and more popular 38mm version. Let's begin. Let's start with the dial. You still have that classic Hamilton Khaki Field dial, all black background, white markings. Very clean, very legible, and very easy to read. On the outer ring, you have a 60-minute and 60-second track. You have bold white Arabic numerals representing your 12-hour dial. On the inner dial, you have your 24-hour dial, the words Hamilton, Khaki Automatic. You have syringe style hour and minute hands, and you have your classic red tip second hand sweeping across all the way extending to the outer ring. Now, one thing to note in comparison with the 38mm version, if you look at the 38mm version, you'll notice that the 24-hour dial is a perfect circle, is perfectly symmetrical. Now, because of the larger sized dial and case size, you'll notice that the date window here is moved slightly to the left, pushing the 15 closer to the middle of the dial. This disrupts the perfect symmetry of the 24-hour dial that you would see on the 38mm version. Now, at a glance, you can't really notice it, but if you're a person who pays attention to detail, this might bother you. Now, of course, we have a sapphire crystal, which many complain lacks anti-reflective coating, and I understand where you're coming from, but because the dial is so legible and so easy to read, it's a minor problem to me. Now we're going to take a look at the Lume. So here's the Lume after a full charge. Not that great. You can see that the hour and minute hands are loomed, as well as the 12-hour dial on the numerals and the little pips around it. Terrible Lume. It blows my mind that these Swiss companies, which make such great watches, cannot get decent to great Lume. Now I'm going to do a comparison. Here's the Seiko SKX. Now, huge difference. Back to the Hamilton. As you can see, it even fades very quickly. What they should have done is evenly applied the Lume and also included the second hand as well. I wish the second hand was loomed so you can see that sweeping motion going across. But so it is. Moving on to the case, we have a stainless steel brushed case, 42mm diameter. We have 22mm lugs, and we have a whopping 52mm lug to lug length. Now, one thing I have to mention is that 42mm might be big to some, but depending on how the case design of the watch is, 42mm can look actually quite good and is not as big as you'd think. Now, I'm going to put this down for a second. And we're going to look at the iconic Seiko SKX 007. Now, everyone knows this is a 42mm case diameter, but it certainly does not wear large at all on the wrist. The reason why is because Seiko are masters at making cases. Look at the lugs. See how they curve in? Lug to lug, you have approximately 45 millimeter lug length, making this watch wear a lot smaller than you would think. Going back to the Hamilton now, one thing I noticed is that this 42 millimeter case happens to be the exact same case used to make the Hamilton Khaki Murph. If any of you are familiar with the Nerf, that's another popular version of the Khaki Field used in the movie Interstellar. The bezel, just like the 38 millimeter, is polished. Now on the 38 millimeter version, as I said before, due to the polishing of the bezel, it gave the watch a more dressy type of appeal. Turning the case around, you have a beautiful open case back housing the movement, 100 meters of water resistance. The movement is the Hamilton H10 caliber movement, giving you an amazing 80-hour power reserve. Now, the 38 millimeter version, which I reviewed earlier, that housed the ETA 2824-2 movement, which gives you 38 hours of power reserve. Now, for me, if you plan on making this an everyday watch, then you're probably going to want to go with the H10 80-hour power reserve. Some might prefer the ETA movement, the 2824-2, due to the slower beat rate, which gives you a smoother sweeping hand. But either way, you can't go wrong with either movement. Another feature I love about this watch outside of the dial is the crown. You have a signed crown, an oversized crown, which is very easy to grab a hold on. Winding action is smooth, and you do have hacking, which stops the second hand so you can set your time more accurately. Now we're going to talk about the strap. This watch came on the Hamilton leather strap. The reason why I took this strap off, because I'm just not a fan of this reddish color. I just don't think it works with the black dial, so I removed it. Nonetheless, we're going to talk about it for a bit. The strap is very good quality strap. You have 22 millimeter width, which tapers down to 20 millimeters. You have a Hamilton signed buckle. The strap is thick, but very good quality leather. You can see Hamilton on the back with white stitching. I would prefer that the 42 millimeter came on the black strap instead. I think the black strap works a lot better than this reddish strap, which is why I took it off. And it's a shame that they never thought about how the color of the strap would affect the overall look of the watch. So what I did is I put this watch on a nice black leather, white stitching Barton strap. As you can see here, Barton watch bands. They also come with quick release pins, top grain leather, very high quality strap, and it looks great. I also want to mention that not only does this watch wear beautifully on a black leather strap with white stitching, but alternate colors you can match with this watch is a chocolate brown leather NATO strap. Guys, if you can find a leather NATO strap that is chocolate brown, I'm telling you, it pairs very nicely and you will not be disappointed. I enjoy wearing this on the chocolate brown NATO strap as well. I'm going to talk about the style and performance. This is a field watch and it functions excellent as such. But where this differs compared to the 38mm version is because of the large case size and large lug to lug at 52mm, this watch can easily function as a pilot watch. I mean, when you wear this on the wrist, it does wear large, and if you were to even take away the 24-hour dial, you would have a great pilot's watch on your hands. And so if you are a person who enjoys larger dials, or if you have a big wrist, then this version is going to be the right choice for you as compared to the 38mm version. The 42mm version wears very much like a pilot's watch. Considering how legible and easy to read this dial is, and considering the size, this easily doubles as a pilot watch. Let me know if you agree in the comment section whether you think this watch can also function as a pilot's watch. I mean, I think it can. Large dial, very easy to read. Large oversized crown. Red tip second hand. To me, this is a field watch and a pilot's watch. Now, in terms of value, this watch I think goes for $650 on the Hamilton website, but you can easily pick up this watch anywhere between $400 to $500, sometimes even less on the gray market. So that's my review of the Hamilton Khaki Field Auto 42mm. I hope you enjoyed. Please smash the like button and subscribe. Please add your comments. I would greatly appreciate it. And until the next one, take care.